In this tutorial video of the perfect momentum strategy, we're going to go over the entry and exit filters at the end of the strategy. So let's go to those and check them out. So right now, just so you know what we have going on, is we're just having a very simple strategy to buy underneath the oversold level of 1. Anytime momentum goes underneath 1, we're just going to buy. And then we have a simple take profit setup. We're using average true range. So now let's see what we can do for filtering. Maybe we can get some better entries. Actually, let me try something that would give us a little, not as good results actually. Actually, for once, going to do something worse just to demonstrate the point. But let's just exit, for example. Let's enter on a 5, and let's exit on a 95. We'll probably still get pretty decent results, but probably not as good. So let's do that. I'm waiting for this to calculate. Okay, we have some results, still really good results. But what can we do with the entry and exit filters? Let's check that out. Okay, so entry filter longs. If we want, we can filter by RSI, stochastics, or using EMA. So let's go in each one of those. Let's say, for example, I want to filter out trades that are above or below a certain RSI. Let's say on the 4 level, we want to filter out trades that are above 50 RSI on a 4 length. These are all filtered out. Probably most of them will be since we're buying at a really low stochastic setting. Let's see if a 10, what a 10 will do for us. Okay, then did that improve our results? Let's see what we had before. We did get better profit factor. Did our drawdown go down? A little bit. What if we filter out anything below 10? So not so much improvements there. And I won't spend the time here actually trying to find the best strategy for this, but just trying to give you an idea of what you can do. You can filter out. So what this is doing now is only looking for trades that have an entry below 10 on the 4-hour side, filtering everything else out. So you can also use stochastics in the same manner. You can set your smoothing here, the value of the stochastics, and looking for above or below. If you want to trade with trend, say for example you want to run an hour time frame, so maybe we want to go to hour EMA and we only want to take these longs if they're above the 200 EMA. See what that does. Well, it became less net profit because we took half the trades, but more profitable and way better profit factor and some good max drawdown. Maybe if we move this down to 50, let's see what that will do for us. We're filtering out some of the trades. That did not work as well. A lot less net profit. Good profit factor, but we could be getting more out of the market. So that's just to give you an idea of what you can do with this entry filter long. You can look for above or below the EMAs. Now underneath this initial entry filter, you have these other options here. You could also look for, let me take this EMA off for a second. So let's say you want to filter your trades by volume. Maybe you want to, in addition to the stochastic settings you have or other momentum settings, maybe you want to look for trades that are going to be 20% above the volume moving average of 50. Let's see what that does. Is that improved? Is that pretty similar results? What if we're looking for higher volume type entries? What does that do? I'm not sure. Let's check it out. Okay, took a lot less trades. So something to experiment with also. You can change your volume moving average period here. This is if you want to use the percent above moving average or percent below. Over here, these are price action if you want to look for trades or entries that close in the top percentage of a bar, say the top maybe 10% of the bar, you can do that, or the top 10% of, or excuse me, the bottom 10% of the bar. You can select these and use that. You can look for bars where the high of the bar that you're in, that you entered, goes higher than the previous bar by a certain amount, or lower than the previous bar by a certain amount. Let's try that with the stochastics. Let's look for a bar maybe that goes 1% lower than last bar. Let's see if that helps our strategy out a little more. Not so much helpful there, but nevertheless took a lot less entries out. So more price action things that can be experimented with and used. You also have close goes X% higher or X% lower, which you can use. Another thing you had here I forgot to mention was you have this bar high, higher, or lower, low operator. And what that means is you can look for engulfing bars. So we could look for a bar that goes a certain amount higher and lower than a bar, than the previous bar. Let's see what we can find here. So we took a lot less trades, but you can see we had one there. Let's look at it real quick. Went higher and lower as an engulfing bar. Yes, it did. A little bit higher, a little bit lower. Also met our stochastic entry conditions, and that was a filter for us. Okay, going back down to our entry settings, we have a whole other set of RSI for your long entries. These were both just for longs, by the way. So if you wanted to use these up here, where we went over the beginning, and then you could use the second set for maybe a higher time frame, a longer look back period. You could use them both together. And you want to make sure that if you're going to use your long entry filters, that you actually select use long entry filter to use any of the settings in this. And then if you're using the second long entry filter, make sure you're using those settings there for that. Now you have here for your longs, you have an exit filter. Let's take a look at that. Let me take the entry filters off. Okay, so let's go to the exit filter. Wait for this to reset. Let's say you're in a trade, and let's say, for example, you don't want to exit if the RSI goes above 95 on a 4 length. Maybe you want to stay in your trade, try to ride it out longer. What does that do? Okay. Give us better profit factor. What if we do something more extreme, maybe a 99? Well, it gave us a lot less trades, just one trade, so that may be too extreme. But you can get the idea here. You can filter out your longs and not exit them if they hit certain conditions, which can help you maybe to ride out trends a little better. You can do the same concept with stochastics, and you can do the same concept by using EMA above or below. And that's it. Down here underneath this, you have a second exit filter for a longer period you can use if you don't want to just have one. So you have two entry filters and two exit filters, and those are for your longs. And then when we get underneath that, we have the same exact thing for the shorts. So all over again, if you want to filter your shorts, by RSI, by stochastics, by being above or below a certain EMA. You can filter your short entries by that. You can filter your short entries by being above or below a certain volume, by where their price action closes. If the bar goes higher or lower than the previous bar or amount of bars, if it engulfs a previous bar, if the close goes higher or lower. So you have so many options to use for your entry and exit filters, and those can be used with any setting inside the perfect momentum strategy. So you literally have all of these together with all how you can combine them all, unlimited options to detect um, really the perfect entries and exits using momentum and all kinds of different criteria stacked on top of each other, finding the best entries and exits. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.